The morning sun rose over New York City like any other day in 2157. Workers rushed to their offices in flying cars, while space shuttles made their routine trips to the moon colony. Earth had finally achieved peace after centuries of conflict, and humanity was taking its first careful steps into space exploration. No one expected the massive shadows that suddenly darkened the skies. They came without warning. Hundreds of alien ships, their dark hulls reflecting the sunlight like polished obsidian. The vessels positioned themselves above every major city on Earth, their massive forms dwarfing the tallest skyscrapers. In the United Nations Space Command Center, General James Miller stared at the screens in disbelief. "Any response to our communications?" "No, sir," replied his communications officer. "They're receiving our signals but choosing not to answer." The silence lasted exactly 17 minutes. Then, everything changed. The first blast hit Tokyo. A beam of intense blue energy cut through the city's central district, vaporizing everything in its path. Before anyone could react, similar beams struck Los Angeles, London, Mumbai, and dozens of other cities worldwide. In orbit, Earth's defense fleet, just 20 ships strong, attempted to fight back. They were swatted aside like insects, their most powerful weapons barely scratching the alien vessel's shields. As chaos erupted across the globe, a weak transmission broke through the jamming signals. The message came from a small alien ship hiding behind Earth's moon. "People of Earth," the transmission began, "I am Captain Firstlight of the Outer Rim Alliance. What you face is the Galactic Council's containment fleet. They believe your species is too aggressive to join galactic society. They fear your potential. This attack was planned months ago. I risk everything to tell you this, but my conscience demands it." The transmission contained vital technical data about the Council's ships, shield frequencies, weapon configurations, and fleet movements. But before Captain Firstlight could send more, their ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, destroyed by Council forces. Down on Earth, the military moved quickly. In the Rocky Mountains, a massive blast door opened in what appeared to be a solid rock face. Military transports rushed in, carrying government officials, top scientists, and military leaders. Similar scenes played out at hidden facilities worldwide. Humanity's insurance policy against extinction. Inside the mountain facility, now designated as Command Center Alpha, General Miller met with the surviving world leaders via secure holographic links. "They thought they could break us with their first strike," Miller said, his voice firm despite the chaos. "But humanity doesn't break. We adapt. We survive. And now, thanks to Captain Firstlight's sacrifice, we have something precious: information." The technical data from the doomed alien captain was already being analyzed. Engineers and scientists worked frantically, their minds racing with possibilities as they studied the alien technology specs. Above ground, the Council forces began their occupation, believing they had crushed humanity's will to fight. They established bases in the ruins of major cities, their troops patrolling the streets with an air of superiority. They didn't bother to look for the missing leadership or question why they met so little resistance. It was their first mistake. In the underground command center, Miller watched the alien patrols through hidden cameras. "They think they've won," he said to his staff. "They think we're just another primitive species that will accept defeat." He walked to a massive screen showing the technical data from Firstlight. "But they don't understand humanity. Every time we faced extinction, we've come back stronger. They gave us their technology specs, thinking we'd be dead before we could use them. They don't know that humans can accomplish in months what takes other species years when our survival depends on it." The general turned to face the room full of Earth's finest minds. "Today, we begin Project Phoenix. We'll take their technology, improve it, and turn it against them. They expect us to submit, to become another failed civilization in their records." His eyes hardened with determination. "Instead, we'll show them why humanity has survived every disaster we've ever faced. And when we're done, The Galactic Council will learn a harsh lesson about underestimating Earth. In the depths of the mountain, humanity began its work. The Council thought they had crushed Earth's spirit, but they had only awakened it. The real war was about to begin. 3 months after the invasion, Earth's underground bunkers buzzed with activity. In Command Center Alpha, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, engineers worked around the clock studying pieces of alien technology salvaged from crashed Council ships. Dr. Thomas Reed held up a twisted piece of metal that once belonged to an alien fighter. "Look at this," he said to his team. "Their hull materials aren't just strong, they're smart. The metal actually responds to damage by hardening itself." Across the room, computers analyzed the alien technology. What started as confusion had turned into understanding, and what was once impossible now seemed within reach. General Miller walked through the crowded laboratory, watching humans and the few friendly aliens who had defected to Earth's side working together. The sight would have been unthinkable just months ago. Now survival demanded it. "Progress report," Miller ordered, stopping at the main research station. Dr. Reed looked up from his work. "Better than expected, sir. The Council made a huge mistake leaving their damaged ships behind. Every piece we recover teaches us more. But here's the really interesting part. Their technology isn't actually better than ours in many ways. It's just different." He pointed to a holographic display showing an alien engine. "They focus on pure power, but we're finding ways to make their designs more efficient. In some cases, we're already improving their technology." The general smiled. "How long until we can start building our own ships?" "We already have. Come see this." They walked to a massive underground hangar carved into the mountain. Through reinforced windows, they could see the first prototype of a human warship. It was smaller than the Council vessels, but sleeker, combining alien technology with human design principles. "We're calling it the Phoenix-class destroyer," Dr. Reed explained. "It uses a hybrid drive system, part alien, part human. The Council's ships are powerful but waste enormous amounts of energy. Ours will be faster and more efficient." In another section of the facility, military personnel trained in virtual reality chambers. The data from Captain Firstlight had included basic ship controls, and Earth's pilots were learning quickly. The Council would expect human pilots to be clumsy with alien technology. They were in for a surprise. But the real breakthrough came from an unexpected source. In a secure communication room, intelligence officers monitored Council communications. They had discovered that the aliens used automated systems for most of their ship operations, relying heavily on preset battle protocols. "They'd gotten lazy," one officer explained to Miller. "Their ships are powerful, but their tactics are predictable. They haven't fought a real war in centuries." The Council's overconfidence showed in other ways. Their patrols became routine and easy to track. They believed humans were primitive savages hiding in the ruins of their cities. They never suspected that beneath their feet, a new kind of army was taking shape. Underground factories, hidden in old mines and natural caverns, began producing components for the new fleet. The Council's sensors, designed to detect their own technology, overlooked the hybrid human-alien systems being built. Miller stood in the command center, watching dots on a global map that represented hidden human bases. "How many ships can we build?" he asked. "With the current facilities, 50 within 6 months. They won't be as large as Council ships, but they'll be more advanced in many ways. We're not just copying their technology, we're improving it." The general nodded. "And the Council?" "Still believes we're beaten. Their patrol patterns show it. They've reduced their forces by 60% since the invasion. Most of their fleet has moved on to other systems." This was humanity's greatest advantage. While the Council saw only a defeated species, Earth was transforming itself. Every day, more secrets were unlocked. Every failure taught new lessons. Every small victory brought them closer to their goal. In the depths of the mountain, Dr. Reed made final adjustments to the prototype ship's systems. "You know what's really ironic?" He said to no one in particular. They attacked us because they thought we were too aggressive, too dangerous. By doing so, they forced us to become exactly what they feared. The ship's engines hummed to life, a sound that represented humanity's future. Soon, very soon, the Council would learn the true cost of their mistake. The resistance was no longer just surviving. It was preparing to strike back. 6 months into the occupation, deep beneath the Australian outback, the first full squadron of Earth's new warships stood ready. The underground hangar stretched for miles, its vast space filled with vessels that represented humanity's greatest achievement. Commander Anna West walked along the line of ships, each one a perfect blend of human innovation and alien technology. Unlike the bulky Council vessels, these ships were sleek and angular, designed for both power and stealth. Squadron 1, all systems check complete, reported the chief engineer. The FTL drives are functioning better than expected. This was the moment they had been waiting for. Earth's first faster-than-light ships weren't just copies of alien technology. They were better. Human engineers had taken the Council's designs and improved them in ways the aliens never considered. In the command center, General Miller watched live feeds from similar facilities around the world. Hidden shipyards in the Himalayas, the Amazon rainforest, and the African desert were all reporting success. The hidden fleet was ready. "Begin test Operation Shadow," Miller ordered. Commander West climbed aboard the lead ship, named Spirit of Earth. The bridge was a marvel of engineering, with holographic displays and neural interface controls that responded to the slightest thought. Her crew, trained for months in simulators, took their positions. "Remember," she told them, "we only get one shot at surprising them. Make it count." The massive underground doors opened silently. One by one, the ships lifted off using their new stealth systems, another human improvement on Council technology. The alien sensors, designed to detect their own ships, were blind to these hybrid vessels. High above Australia, a Council patrol ship drifted lazily through its routine sweep. Its crew, bored and complacent, barely glanced at their instruments. They never saw the 5 human ships that slipped past them, climbing higher into the night sky. "Phase 1 complete," West reported. "Moving to test zone." The squadron accelerated toward the dark side of the moon, where they would test their weapons and FTL drives away from Council eyes. As they approached, West felt a mix of pride and anticipation. These ships represented thousands of hours of work, countless sacrifices, and humanity's unbreakable spirit. "Weapons test beginning," announced the tactical officer. "Targeting debris field." The new weapons were perhaps humanity's greatest achievement. They had taken the Council's energy weapons and modified them with rotating frequencies that could penetrate alien shields. The test target, a collection of space junk, vaporized instantly. "FTL drive spooling up," reported the engineering officer. "All systems nominal." This was the moment of truth. The Council believed humans were decades away from discovering faster-than-light travel. They were wrong. "Execute jump," West ordered. The stars blurred, and in an instant, the squadron appeared near Jupiter. The jump was smooth, smoother than any Council ship could manage. The human engineers had solved the turbulence problems that plagued alien FTL drives. "Jump successful," West reported back to Earth. All ships functioning perfectly. In the command center, Miller allowed himself a small smile. "Begin Phase 2, he ordered. "Commence hit-and-run operations." Over the next week, Council patrols began reporting strange incidents. Supply ships disappeared without trace. Communication relays went dark. Small outposts reported seeing phantom ships that vanished before they could be identified. The Council commanders dismissed these reports as equipment malfunctions or crew errors. Their arrogance had become their weakness. They couldn't imagine that the primitive humans could be responsible. Each successful mission taught the human crews more about real space combat. They learned to use their smaller ships' agility to outmaneuver the larger Council vessels. They perfected their stealth systems and developed new tactics that the aliens had never seen. In her quarters aboard the Spirit of Earth, Commander West reviewed the latest mission data. "They still don't suspect," she said to her executive officer. "Every patrol we destroy, every supply ship we capture makes us stronger. And they think they're just having technical problems." The officer smiled. "When do we launch the main attack?" West looked at the battle plans displayed on her screen. "Soon. We're almost ready." The Council thought they could break humanity's spirit. Instead, they forced us to reach for the stars. In hidden bases across Earth, more ships were nearing completion. The final phase of humanity's revenge was approaching. Soon, the Council would learn that they hadn't crushed humanity. They had awakened a sleeping giant. And this giant was coming for them. The attack began at dawn. Across the globe, hidden hangar doors opened simultaneously. Hundreds of Earth's new warships rose from their underground bases, their stealth systems making them invisible to Council sensors. Operation Lightning Strike was underway. In orbit, the Council's occupation fleet had no warning. The first sign of trouble came when their flagship suddenly exploded, split in half by weapons they never saw coming. Commander West's voice crackled across all human frequencies. "All ships, execute attack pattern Phoenix. Show them what humanity can do." The battle for Earth's orbit had begun. Human ships appeared from nowhere, their improved stealth systems failing only when they opened fire. The Council fleet, caught completely off guard, scrambled to respond. Their automated defense systems, designed to fight traditional battles, couldn't track the smaller, faster Earth vessels. "Target their communication centers first," General Miller ordered from Command Center Alpha. "Don't let them call for help." The Council's orbital command station erupted in flames as 3 Phoenix-class destroyers hit it from different angles. The alien commanders had no chance to send distress signals to their homeworld. On the ground, Council troops looked up in confusion as their support ships began falling from the sky. Years of easy occupation had made them soft. They never expected resistance, let alone such a coordinated attack. Inside a Council ground base near the ruins of Paris, an alien commander frantically tried to organize a defense. "How are they doing this?" he demanded. Their technology was primitive. His question was answered when a human strike team breached the base's walls. The soldiers wore powered armor reverse-engineered from Council designs, but improved with human innovation. Where alien troops relied on brute force, humans had added speed and flexibility. The liberation of Earth moved with shocking speed. Council forces, used to fighting with superior numbers and technology, found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Human ships attacked in complex patterns that ignored standard military doctrine. Ground forces used guerrilla tactics that confused the aliens' rigid command structure. By midday, the Council's orbital defenses had completely collapsed. Surviving alien ships tried to flee, but the improved human FTL interdiction fields prevented their escape. The Council forces that had terrorized Earth for months were now trapped. In New York, a Council general surrendered his entire command when human ships descended through the clouds, their weapons aimed at his headquarters. His troops, expecting savage treatment, were surprised when they were simply detained. "We're not like you," a human officer told the captured general. "We don't destroy those who surrender." Commander West's flagship, now leading a full battle group, secured the last major Council installation near Mount Fuji. As alien troops laid down their weapons, her sensors officer made an important discovery. "Commander, we've accessed their central database. We have the coordinates of every Council military base, including their high command." West immediately contacted General Miller. "Sir, we can track them all the way home." In the command center, Miller studied the data with his staff. The Council's arrogance had led them to leave detailed records on their captured command ships. They never imagined humans would be able to access their computers, let alone understand their language. "How long to secure Earth completely?" Miller asked. "At current pace, we'll have full control within the next 12 hours, his tactical officer replied. Council forces are surrendering faster than we can process them. They've never faced an enemy that could fight back effectively. Miller nodded. Prepare the fleet for deep space operations. The Council needs to learn that attacking Earth was their biggest mistake. As the sun set on the first day of humanity's counterattack, Earth was almost free. The Council's occupation forces have been utterly defeated in less than 24 hours. In the ruins of their main base, captured Council officers watched in disbelief as human ships patrolled the skies. One turned to another and spoke quietly. The Council was wrong about them. We didn't contain a primitive species. We awakened something far more dangerous. Commander West stood on her bridge, watching Earth's cities begin to light up again for the first time since the invasion. All ships, prepare for Phase 2, she announced. The Council thought they could break us. Instead, they forced us to become stronger. Now we're taking the fight to them. The liberation of Earth was complete, but the war was just beginning. 1 week after Earth's liberation, humanity launched its revenge. 300 ships of Earth's fleet gathered in high orbit, their black hulls reflecting the sunlight. Each vessel carried improved weapons and armor, far beyond what the Council thought possible for humans to create. General Miller stood on the bridge of the flagship Humanity's Pride, addressing all crews through the neural communication network. Today, we take the fight to their homes. Show them why you don't attack Earth. Commander West's battle group led the first wave. Their target, the Council's largest military base in the Orion sector. The aliens had no idea they were coming. All ships, execute FTL jump on my mark, West ordered. 3, 2, 1, jump. The fleet vanished in a flash of light. When they reappeared near the Council base, alarms immediately began blaring across the alien station. The Council forces scrambled to respond, but they were too slow. Begin attack pattern thunderstorm, West commanded. Earth's ships split into smaller groups, attacking from multiple directions. Unlike the Council's rigid battle formations, human vessels moved unpredictably, weaving through enemy fire like dancers. The Council commander's voice boomed across space. Impossible. How did primitive humans reach our space? His answer came in the form of concentrated fire from 20 Earth ships. His command center exploded spectacularly. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out as humanity struck multiple Council systems simultaneously. The aliens had never faced an enemy that could match their technology, let alone improve upon it. In the Centauri sector, a Council defense fleet found itself trapped between two human battle groups. Their superior numbers meant nothing against Earth's better tactics and technology. Their shields are adapting. A Council officer screamed as human weapons cut through their defenses. How are they doing this? The answer was simple. Human engineers had designed weapons that changed frequency faster than Council shields could adjust. It was the kind of innovation that came from thinking outside the box, something the Council had forgotten how to do. Not all aliens fought against Earth, though. Several species, impressed by humanity's resilience and fair treatment of prisoners, began secretly helping the human fleet. They provided intelligence about Council movements and weaknesses. One such ally, a Council science officer, transmitted vital information about the Council's main defense grid. Their entire network runs on automated protocols, he explained. They never expected anyone to understand their technology well enough to exploit it. Using this information, human hackers began disrupting Council communications. Entire defense fleets found themselves responding to phantom attacks, while Earth's ships struck their real targets. At a major Council shipyard, alien workers watched in amazement as human vessels executed maneuvers their own ships couldn't match. The Council had always claimed humans were primitive. Now they saw the truth. Their ships are smaller but faster, one alien engineer noted. They've taken our technology and made it better in just months. The Council was wrong about them. The tide of war turned rapidly. Council forces, used to easy victories against weaker species, found themselves outmatched by human ingenuity and determination. Their rigid military structure began falling apart. In the command center aboard Humanity's Pride, General Miller reviewed the battle reports. Earth's forces had captured 30 major Council bases in just 1 week. More importantly, they had found evidence of the Council's corruption. "Look at this," his intelligence officer said, displaying captured files. "The Council didn't attack us because they thought we were dangerous. They wanted our resources and thought we'd be an easy target." This news spread quickly through the galaxy. Other species, long intimidated by the Council, began questioning their leadership. The Council's authority, built on lies and fear, started crumbling. Commander West stood on her bridge, watching another Council station surrender. "They thought they could break humanity's spirit," she said to her crew. "Instead, they showed the galaxy who we really are." The Council's mighty empire was falling, system by system, before the species they had dismissed as primitive. Humanity wasn't just winning battles, they were changing the galaxy's entire power structure. And they were far from finished. The Council's home system was supposed to be impenetrable. 3 artificial rings of defense satellites surrounded their capital planet. 1,000 warships patrolled the space between them. No enemy had ever breached these defenses, until now. Earth's combined fleet dropped out of FTL travel just outside the system's edge. 500 ships strong, they represented humanity's full military might. At their head, the flagship Humanity's Pride led the formation. General Miller stood on the command deck, his face stern. "Send the message." Across all frequencies, in every language known to the galaxy, Earth's demands echoed. "Surrender now, or face the consequences of your actions." The Council's response came quickly. "How dare primitive humans threaten us? We will crush you like the insects you are." Miller nodded to Commander West. "Show them how primitive we are." The battle began with a trick the Council never saw coming. While their sensors focused on Earth's main fleet, smaller stealth ships had already infiltrated their defense grid. At Miller's signal, these ships attacked the defense satellites from within their own rings. Chaos erupted as Council forces tried to respond. Their automated defense systems, confused by attacks from inside their perimeter, began firing at their own ships. "Execute Operation Checkmate," West commanded. Earth's fleet split into 3 waves, each using different attack patterns. Council commanders, trained to fight by their ancient battle manuals, couldn't adapt to humanity's fluid tactics. On the Council's capital planet, the High Leaders watched in horror as their defenses crumbled. "Impossible," one shouted. "Their technology is years behind ours." "No," replied a junior Council member. "We just stopped innovating. While we relied on our old ways, they took our technology and improved it." The space around the capital world turned into a graveyard of Council ships. Human vessels, smaller but far more agile, struck from unexpected angles. Their improved weapons cut through alien shields like paper. Commander West's voice carried across the battlefield. "All ships, push forward. Don't let them regroup." The Council's mighty defense fleet, pride of their military, found itself trapped. Human ships had somehow hacked their navigation systems, causing confusion in their formations. Centuries of technological superiority meant nothing against humanity's determination and adaptability. In the Council chambers, panic spread as human forces breached the final defense line. The Council leaders, who had ordered Earth's destruction without a second thought, now faced the consequences of their actions. "We should have listened to the warnings," one Council member admitted. "The reports that said humans were different, that they would either be our greatest allies or most dangerous enemies." Earth's fleet surrounded the capital planet. Their weapons targeted every major military installation and government building. But they didn't fire. Instead, General Miller's voice boomed across the planet. "Your forces are defeated. Your fleets are destroyed. But unlike you, we don't kill needlessly. Surrender and face justice for your crimes." In the Council chamber, the truth of their situation finally sank in. They had attacked Earth believing humans were primitive savages. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant that had not only matched their technology, but improved it. The head of the council, his pride finally broken, activated the communication channel. We surrender. Human troops, wearing advanced powered armor, entered the council chambers. They found the once mighty leaders huddled in fear, expecting execution. Instead, they were arrested to face trial for their crimes. Commander West walked through the council's great hall, now under human control. "Search their records," she ordered. "We need to know how many other species they've attacked like us." The files revealed a dark truth. Earth wasn't the first world the council had attacked, but they were the first to fight back successfully. Dozens of civilizations had been destroyed or enslaved under the council's containment policy. General Miller stood in the council's main chamber, now a symbol of humanity's victory. "Send word to Earth," he ordered. "The war is over, but our real work is just beginning." The siege of the council was complete, but this wasn't just a military victory. Humanity had proved itself to the galaxy. They hadn't just defeated the council, they had changed the course of galactic history. And they were about to reshape it completely. 1 year after the council's surrender, the galaxy had changed beyond recognition. The Great Hall, where the old council once ruled, now hosted representatives from every known species, including many that had been previously excluded. Earth led this transformation, but not through force. Instead, humanity showed the galaxy a different way to rule, through cooperation and innovation rather than fear and control. General Miller, now Earth's representative on the new Galactic Assembly, stood before the gathered species. "Today marks the first anniversary of the Council's fall," he announced. "But we're not here to celebrate a victory. We're here to celebrate a new beginning." The changes were visible everywhere. The old Council's massive warships had been replaced by joint patrol fleets, crewed by members of different species working together. Humanity's improvements to space technology were freely shared, raising the standard of living across hundreds of worlds. Commander West, leading the new Galactic Defense Force, had transformed military doctrine. The old council thought bigger ships meant better defense. She explained to a group of alien officers, "We proved that innovation and adaptability matter more than size." But perhaps the most significant change came in how the galaxy handled emerging civilizations. The old council's policy of containment was replaced by Earth's program of careful contact and guidance. "We remember how it felt to be attacked without warning," Miller told the assembly. "No developing world should ever face that fear again." The former council leaders, facing trial for their crimes, watched in disbelief as their empire transformed. The species they had termed primitive was now teaching the galaxy about advanced technology and fair governance. In Earth's orbit, a massive space station served as a symbol of this new age. The Galactic Exchange Center hosted scientists and engineers from thousands of worlds, all sharing knowledge and working together on new discoveries. "Humans taught us something important," a former council scientist admitted. "When you share knowledge instead of hoarding it, everyone advances faster." The changes weren't just technological. Earth's example had sparked a cultural revolution across the galaxy. Species that had feared and distrusted each other for centuries now worked side by side. The rigid hierarchies of the old council era crumbled as merit replaced privilege. On a distant world that had faced council invasion just 2 years earlier, human ships arrived carrying not weapons, but teachers and engineers. "We know what it's like to face a more advanced enemy," a human ambassador told them. "We're here to help you advance on your own terms." The galaxy's military structure had been completely reformed. Instead of the Council's massive invasion fleets, smaller, more efficient defense forces protected trade routes and responded to natural disasters. Commander West's tactical innovations became standard training for all crews. The old Council used fear to maintain order, she explained during a training session. "We maintain peace through mutual respect and cooperation." Back in the assembly hall, Miller reviewed reports from across the galaxy. Trade had increased by 300%. Scientific discoveries were happening at unprecedented rates. Conflicts between species had dropped to historic lows. "This is what happens when you unite people instead of dividing them," he told his staff. The Council thought they could break humanity's spirit. Instead, we showed them a better way to govern. A young alien representative approached Miller after the session. "My world was one of the first the Council attacked," she said. "We submitted because we thought resistance was impossible. You proved us wrong." Miller smiled. The Council's mistake was thinking that attacking Earth would destroy us. Instead, it forced us to become stronger, to innovate faster, to think differently. But our greatest strength wasn't our technology or our tactics. "What was it?" she asked. "Our ability to forgive and move forward. We could have destroyed the Council worlds, but we chose to help them change instead." As the Galactic Day ended, ships of all designs and origins moved peacefully through space. On hundreds of worlds, beings of all species worked together in harmony. The time of fear and oppression was over. Earth had not just defeated the Council, they had replaced their rule of fear with something far more powerful: hope. And in doing so, they had changed the galaxy forever.